It's Christmas time. This small business is in danger. There's lots of awkward heterosexuality, and I'm here to review that. Welcome to day 6 of the 12 days of Christmas movie reviews. Today I'll be reviewing A Husband for Christmas, starring Vivica A. Fox. Vivica A. Fox plays Brooke Harris, a graphic designer for a company, and her company is merging with another company, and at a merger party, she meets Roger, who is also a graphic designer and a dashing British man, but she soon realizes she's likely going to lose her job and Roger take over after the merger. She's later brought into her boss's office, her boss played by Eric Roberts, in a conversation that could only be described as both highly unethical and highly illegal. Her boss, Mr. Rawlings, suggests to her that she is getting a promotion for a vice president position. But however, Roger, who she met, is also in need of an H-1 visa, and well, the company doesn't really want to go through all that hustle and bustle and paperwork over that. So, Mr. Rawlings suggests that Brooke marry Roger in order for him to get citizenship. He then pretty much says either the VP position and marrying Roger, or you're laid off. Wonderful to get the movie off with a lot of blackmail and just a lot of illegal activity. Well, Brooke has a tough decision, but the career-minded woman that she is, she decides, okay, I'll go ahead and be in this loveless arranged marriage. So Roger comes over from England and is now in the US working for this merged company. And the rest of the movie goes as you would think, as these two, put together by corporate interests, begin to possibly see sparks fly? I guess. I don't really know. It didn't actually feel that way. But Roger has a lot to consider given he has a girlfriend back in England, and Brooke has a lot to consider given the fact that she is a woman and the only thing women need to do is get married to feel like they've accomplished anything. So, that's the basis for this film and where it heads as Roger and Brooke try to discover by Christmas if they are in love, while also evading immigration and naturalization services. I'm not sure where to even begin on A Husband for Christmas. I've never watched a film where every single scene could be considered, as I mentioned before, unethical and illegal in every aspect of what the individuals are talking about in the scenes. Vivica A. Fox does a fine enough job as Brooke for what is entailed in this cheesy level of a movie. Ricco Ross, or Ricco Ross, I'm not really sure. And even though my name is Sumukh, I just choose not to check. He plays Roger, and he is an American actor, and he does a decent enough job with the British accent, but my God, I don't know if it's the actor or the director's impression of British people, but he is extremely annoying in how much he laughs and and, you know, is the perception that this movie has of the British, that they're just like hoity-toity and laughing all the time, literally at everything that gets said, and unfortunately Roger as a character just laughs all the time at everything. It does not matter what the circumstances are. Where else can I go? The best performance in the movie is Eric Roberts as the boss, Mr. Rawlings, and I can't tell if it's because he is a brilliant actor that was self-aware of how nonsensical this movie was and his character was, or he was heavily medicated during the filming, or both. Either way, Rawlings is just hilarious in how casual he is as a boss in saying all these illegal, pretty much offensive, unethical lines. That's every single line he has in the movie. Robert steals every scene he's in as a result of this. He plays it phenomenally and hilariously well, even if that is not what was indicated in the script for him to be doing, or is the usual nature of a boss in these kinds of roles in these movies. There are a lot of characters in this movie that are just pointless. Roger's girlfriend character arrives from England. She didn't even need to be in this, provided nothing to the movie, having this girlfriend angle to it. As well as Jackie Harry makes a one scene appearance, a nice one of those special guest appearances. She proves no point in it either, just another friend from the past who can shove the knife in that Brooke is not married. Also, there's the assistant to Mr. Rawlings, who in the beginning seems to be Brooke's friend, but then later is plotting against her simply because she didn't get the promotion Brooke got, which doesn't make much sense. When you're the assistant, you're not going to get promoted all the way up to VP. Then again, at this company, if you commit a federal crime as a woman, that's the way you can only progress, apparently. So maybe the lady's right. But she didn't really serve a huge purpose. It wasn't necessary for a lot of these characters to be there to drive home the real underlying, conflict that existed in the movie. There's a adding weird elements that are just not necessary. Brooke brings, what's his name back? Roger. I almost said Bruce. Whatever, the British dude, back to her home to meet her parents. And in a weird dynamic, her ex is now engaged to her sister, which has created, not a great... It was just a totally unnecessary plot element that's created tension for whatever reason in her family, but no tension among her parents, who seemingly are just not behaving like their one daughter got broken up with. Now that man is marrying their other daughter. They're just kind of like, the only thing that matters is our daughters get married. And it creates weird circumstances between the father and Roger. Other than that, the parents are delightful, if it wasn't for the fact that there is a weird dramatic dynamic to their family that they just aren't even acknowledging. On a scale of a partridge in a pear tree to 12 drummers drumming, I give A Husband for Christmas 4 calling birds. I had to think of the song for a second. I'm just as good as anybody that's appeared in A Husband for Christmas. Look, this movie is terrible, and it should probably be at the lower end of this rating system, but honestly, I have not laughed harder at a movie in a long time. It is so incredibly stupid that you're laughing constantly. As I mentioned, Eric Roberts steals the show in any scene. It's hilarious. It's just I have to give it credit for how incredibly moronic it is. And for anyone with a brain and a sense of humor the way I have, you'll at least be laughing your ass off at this movie. Well, join me tomorrow for day 7. I'll be reviewing Naughty and Nice as Haley Duff once again returns to this show.